just in case you thought I forgot. I said I was going to do this. I didn't. I was waiting. And this is about as late in the day. I can wait these days to do something before I start getting too tired. And I will confess, this is the latest I've made it in the day in a long time that I haven't had any wine yet. So I will after. But I thought in celebration of the full moon that I wanted to record a practice. And it's a great time of year, season, getting into the fall equinox, Coral and Brian's anniversary, these different things to kind of manifest what you're hoping to create. And, you know, I could list about 80 things right now that I would like to have happen. But right now, the biggest one for myself and for my mom, for that matter, is not worrying about those things that we can't control, making the best of the things that we can, and trying to let go of those things that we can't, or at least manage it in the best way possible. Because it's really hard, you know, for all of us to not be in control of the situation around you. And as you control freaks know, it's particularly hard for us. And I'm with you, and so is Mom. But my intention is that this will just be kind of a yummy, stretchy practice, a little bit of heart opening, but more of the aspect of opening up the chest and shoulders, because I know myself, I have a lot of this action in my body lately, so I desperately crave side waist opening and heart opening. So just take a moment just to close your eyes and breathe. And just gently let your chin drop in towards the chest. And you can just start to rock your ear to shoulder, come through, and then up and over to the other side. And I know for myself, I have a lot of imbalances in my body right now. A lot of it is for taking care of my mom, from sleeping funny, just, you know, wear and tear of getting a little older. So just be aware of what you need in your own body. Don't worry about what you did on your mat yesterday or what you might do tomorrow. Take today. And then just let yourself take a bit of a twist, going one direction or the other. Ooh, a little crack there. Yay. And then come through the center and come on up and over to the opposite side. And then just take a mental note of which leg is in front, because we're just going to have a brief moment in boat. So just letting yourself shift back, taking a little moment just to wake up the belly a smidge. And then just reverse across the legs. And chin to chest, and rock ear to shoulder, and then come through. And I'm guessing if you're watching this, you've probably practiced with me before, but just in case you haven't, know that you're always welcome to do your own variations, skip something. Obviously, I can't see you, so you certainly can do whatever you want. But letting yourself take a twist, go in one direction, maybe you go the other way first, it doesn't matter. Coming through, I'm looking at my plants that are starting to look a little end of the summer sad. And then come on through the center, and then once again, just take a moment shifting back. And if boat's not your bag, maybe just keeping your toes down, just something to stabilize the core a bit. And then just ease your way through, threading your legs behind however you want or need to. And then just coming towards hands and knees. And then just take a few rounds, turn sideways. Take a few rounds of cat and cow, just hollowing your belly, and then stretching your belly long. And letting yourself coil in and up. And you can kind of play with toes curled under or feet flat, getting a chance to stretch out your feet as you might want to. One more time, drawing up, rounding the spine. I'm taking an inhale more to activate the abdominals. And then when you're ready to ease forward, sliding out towards puppy. Just letting yourself sink the heart down. And then nice and easy, start to walk your hands up. Come to stand on your shins. And then one hand to low belly, one hand to low back. And just so you can feel that you're not arching and you're not kind of curling back, just letting yourself lean back. Shiva Ray calls this Ustrasana and Dandasana, or Dandasana and Ustrasana actually. And just that it's staff and camel. So you're just trying to make this nice long line, nice and strong through your legs, through your belly. And then taking just like a tiny baby camel. We'll get a little deeper into the camel later. And you might even keep your chin tucked to protect your neck. For me, it's just that chance to open up the chest and shoulders and to help kind of lengthen out through the belly. And then come back. And then let yourself take a pause in hands and knees. If you need a child's pose moment, just take it. Let yourself kind of take a couple rounds of cat and cow once again. And then from here, a little bit of a different shoulder stretch. Sit back like you're coming towards that child's pose shape and just thread the left arm underneath the right. Now try to smoosh your chest down towards the ground. For some of us, that's going to be enough. If you can comfortably, cross the right arm in front of the left, and from there you can either stay, or if you want, shift your weight forward, put your head down on the ground. Just the more weight that moves forward, the deeper the stretch. So just know that it's okay if you don't want to go that far. Then inhale, you can lift up your head as much as you need to. Walk the right arm out. Give another little press, just reaching through the left hand, reaching through the right. And then slide your right hand under the shoulder, open the left arm up to the sky. And then just let your left arm come underneath the right, and you can let your head come to the ground. I'm keeping it a little bit lifted more so you can hear me, but you can put your head down. Extend the right foot out to the side if that's okay. And then maybe take your right arm, wrap it behind your back. And here, I'm pressing into the left arm just because I'm liking the way this twist feels. If you want more of the shoulder stretch, let your shoulder and head melt down to the ground. Now walk your hands up underneath you, just so you're kind of like in a weird figure four. And you could always pull this knee in if you needed to. Inhale, come on up. Now just turn your right toes out or position your right foot so it feels comfortable in the knee. Right arm down, left arm up and over. So just lengthening through the side waist. Kind of be aware if you tend to hyperextend here just to keep a little bit of a bend, or maybe you keep a big bend. It could be more like that side lunge. Then come on up, let your left hand come down. Whoop. Right arm up, right leg up. It's the fun of being in the grass. And then maybe you stretch everything long. And then letting yourself come around. Right hand down, right leg back, left arm forward. And then if you'd like for a moment, reach back for your foot. Give a little press to the sky. And if you can't reach your foot comfortably, hand to heart. And then just exhale. Both hands, both shins come down. Take a round of cat and cow, rounding the spine. And then lengthening. And then come back in, and then this time, taking your left arm forward, right arm underneath. Now for me personally, this shoulder's a little tighter, so you could just stay like this if you want, or test out bringing the left arm in front of the right. Sitting back is a little bit easier. Leaning forward, bringing your head to the ground or lifting your hips makes it a little bit more intense, so you make the call. Give it another breath where you are. If you did lift your hips, lower them down, lift up your head. Kind of walk out your left arm. You might just take a second to stretch long. I'm pushing through both of my hands here to deepen the opening. And then shift up enough, you can pull the left hand underneath you, under your shoulder. Open the right arm up to the sky or whatever level feels good. And then right arm underneath the left. And again, normally the shoulder comes right down to the mat. I'm kind of liking the way it feels to get a deeper twist instead. And so left leg out to the side, if you wish. That head can be high or low. Just giving yourself a moment to pause. And then you can pull your left hand back underneath your shoulder. You might just release the right arm. And then hands down, either keep the toes facing forward or you might angle them, depends on how your knee feels about it. Left arm down, right arm up and over. You might shift this more towards a lunge, your call. And then as you come on up and over, let the right hand come down, left arm, apparently I'm on a little hill in the grass, pick up the left leg. And then as you swing it around, left hand down, right arm forward. Maybe take a bend in the back knee and reach back. Think of it more as an opportunity to lift your chest and maybe open the quad, not about how far your head can get to your foot. And then release both hands, both shins down. Take a moment just to curl your toes under. Walk your feet in. Coming into it, just a place that feels comfortable. Inhale, draw the arms up high. And then just climb up and out of your side waist. It doesn't matter which side you go to first. And then come on back up and over. Sorry if I look like a giant. I just didn't want it to be too far away so you couldn't hear me. And then come back to the center. And then hands. Come on in towards the heart. And then just take a moment. I purposely wanted this class to be outside just to kind of embrace the summer-ish weather and the sunlight and the ease. I can hear the crickets. I'm not sure if you can, but finding the calm, the stillness, within the storm of itself. So just a moment of peace. And then when you're in, inhale comes, draw the arms up to the sky. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, take a halfway lift. On the exhale, just step your right leg back towards the lunge. You can lower the right shin down. Draw the arms up to the sky. And then just exhale, let the arms press back, belly might shift forward. Inhale, climb up. Exhale, sink in. One more time, draw high. Now your call, a little bit more intense for the right leg if your arms stay up, and then sink in. You need a little more support, hands behind the head, or maybe knuckles to your low back. I'm feeling kind of good, like right in the middle. Give it a breath here. They tip over again. Maybe don't close your eyes. And then draw yourself back up. Now here, let yourself pull back, lengthen the left leg. Now I'm actually gonna come all the way to a seat. So if you're concerned about the transition with this knee, don't be afraid to unwind it, but just kind of swinging it around so you're coming down to a seat. So it kind of looks like a tree, sort of. And then swing the right knee out a little bit wider. And I admit from knee, this actually bothers my knee with the foot on the inside. It feels better for me when it's behind me. So you pick. All we're gonna do is side bend. So letting yourself reach up and over your left leg. Any variation of arms, you can catch the foot, but again, I'm using this bottom arm to roll my chest open. You can bring the hand behind the head to support your neck. Give it another breath. And then inhale, you can let yourself come back up, take your time. Now before we move on, take your left hand down, just reach your right hand out towards your left foot. And think of it as kind of it's not really technically an open twist because that would be that way, but you're not trying to put your chest down to the floor. You're just trying to open up the leg. Open up the heart. And then here, come back to the center. Now, if your foot's behind you, just swing it back around, just so it's in a safe position. Press down into the right shin, left foot, lift up. So it's kind of like that side angle shape you had. Bring yourself back and around and just straighten out both legs in front of you. Sorry if you're looking at my dirty feet. Don't worry about a super deep forward fold, whatever feels okay. Just reaching forward. You might reach out for your feet, your shins, it might even be your quadriceps, but just letting yourself lengthen out the spine. Now we're gonna go through a flow to balance out in a moment, but just a couple more things while we're sitting down. Pull your legs in, come on into Badakanasana, in bound angle, feet together, knees wide, and then take a moment. Give the left leg a little bit of a press, and I'll just be honest with you, this wasn't necessarily, I never plan my sequence, but I felt like this is what I needed to do, so that's what I'm doing. So if that happens to you at any point during the practice, don't worry about what I say whatsoever, do what your body is telling you, there's a reason. And then let yourself come on over, switch sides. So I'm not trying to push the leg to the ground, I'm actually trying to lengthen and turn away a little bit. Now, your call, if it feels good to you to fold forward, go right ahead. Sometimes it does for me, today it does. Other times it doesn't, and then I'll just use my hands behind me to sit tall. Now, as far as transitioning, I've kind of let chaturangas go for a while right now, just because they're not serving me. So you can rock and roll through chaturanga if you want, or just simply bring your legs around however it feels comfortable. Come back towards hands and knees. Walk your hands back. Come on up into that little lean. 1 or 2 pulses is fine. Then circle your hands around, one or both. Lift the heart, stretching your belly. Maybe you start to look to the sky. And then as you exhale, let your hands come on down. Maybe a down dog moment. And then I'm walking, but you can step, hop, float your feet towards your hands. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Picking my toenail polish, sorry, I'm a picker. And then fold in. Inhale, come up tall. They have glow-in-the-dark nail polish at CVS, and it legit works. Climb up and over. And then come on up and over, stretching the opposite side. Come back into the center. Shake out my pants, and then hands back into the heart. Pause, just feel your feet on the earth. And then here, starting to let yourself ground down through the feet. Inhale, draw the arms high. I just reposition my feet so I wouldn't feel wobbly. Exhale and fold. Take your left foot back to the lunge, lowering the knee down, and then just take a breath. Arms up. And then sink in. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, sink in. One more time, draw high. Now again, arms staying up if that feels good for you. I'm going for hands behind the head, might be hands to low back. And then just let yourself sink in. And so the intention is the heart staying high, more so you're getting a deeper stretch in the front of your left thigh. Give it a breath here. And when you're ready, inhale, use your belly, use your hands to help you pull back, start to lengthen the right leg. And again, we're gonna sit all the way down. So if this doesn't feel like a good transition, you might pick it up a little more and bring the leg through so it's not as, kind of pressure on the floor. And then you can bring the foot behind you. That's the better choice for my knee. Keeping it there is great. And then right side, reaching towards the ground, left arm is nice and long. And not that it makes a difference, but you might notice on this side I have more space. Doesn't mean that that's good. It means it's just trying to find balance. You can close the eyes. You can let your hand come behind your head if you'd like to. Soften along your jaw. The wind feels fabulous on my skin. Then inhale, take yourself up. Now, going from open to closed here is okay because you're not weight bearing. That's why it kind of works. And so you can start to reach over towards your right foot. Giving yourself a breath here. You might even push into the right hand a little to open it up more. Then draw yourself up. You can push up into that Badakanasana shape from here. I just know my knees aren't appreciating me doing things like that these days, so I'm swinging the leg around first, drawing up. Then exhale, coming down, and then both legs out long in front of you. Now maybe here for the forward fold, you have a little more space. If you want to be a bit more forgiving, sorry, I'm not speaking well. Instead of having your feet all the way together, separate them a little bit, and you can totally bend your knees. And then once again, draw your legs up, come back into Badakanasana, and then your call. You can add that little press of the leg again. I like it because it's a nice way to twist. I feel it helps release my sacrum. And then coming around to the other side. And then here as you come to the center, forward folding to whatever degree. And I can already tell right now my body doesn't want to do the arms forward, so I'm going to keep the arms behind me. And this just helps me keep my back really long. Then inhaling, come on back up. Now again, you can bring your legs through, rock back and forth, chaturanga, up dog, down dog, or if you're keeping it a little bit more casual, swing your legs around, try to alternate which way you swing, and then take a moment, downward facing dog. Give it a breath here, you can shake out the head. Now, widen up your feet, and you might even center off your right hand. Either left hand just reaches underneath the right, or if you can reach it, reaching down toward your foot, your ankle, and just give a little twist. You can either let your hips go, which is just kind of nice, or really pull your hips to the center, which will give it more intensity. And then left hand forward, right hand back. And again, you might look under the shoulder. You can play with the hips kind of staying still or not. And then come back to the center, and then just walk your feet up towards your hands. Take a halfway lift, pull your heart forward, and then exhale and down. Come all the way up to standing. Give a little pull off to the side. I'm trying to figure out what's flying around. There's something different making a noise in my yard. Coming around. Sometimes there's bats. That would be super cool if the bats came out. I haven't seen them all summer, really. And then come through the center, and then let your hands come to the low back. Lift your heart. And don't like overdo the back bend. It's not a big show. Just stretching your belly. And then exhale. Just let yourself fold down. Inhale, take a halfway lift. On the exhale, taking your right leg back to the lunge. Lowering the right knee down. Sorry, just checking on mom. She's doing good. Draw the arms up to the sky. Now this time, let your left arm go back, the right arm go forward. I'm supporting my low back. Some people like to float the arms or hook the elbow on the knee. But right now I'm learning my body it needs to stretch, it needs to open up. It's not so much about intensity. That being said, let yourself turn towards the right. Swing your right foot behind you and bring your left knee down, coming into frog. I just meant that doesn't have to always look as intense as you might expect. Frog can still be pretty intense. And then here you could always put a pillow or a block under your belly or under your face. We're not going to stay here super long, just a chance to kind of sink in. You could rest your head. I'm keeping my head more lifted so you can hear me. And then you can play with arching and rounding your spine. My back is actually pretty neutral right now. I just have a lot of booty, so it looks like I'm arching my back, but I'm actually not. This will be arching my back. So just kind of playing with that. Give it another breath. Now walk your hands up underneath you. There's lots of ways to get out of this, but this is kind of a fun way. Curl your toes in, just pop your knees off the ground. And then here, you can just step your feet out or just give a little tiny hop and you're just in a straddle. And then just a little rock side to side and let your head drop in. Now you're gonna look over your left leg, the front leg, and coming into warrior two. And I'm just adjusting my feet so I don't slide. Drawing your arms out wide. And then inhale, coil up. Exhale, sink in. Inhale, coiling up. Exhale, sink in. This time stay low. Reverse your warrior. And then side angle. Reverse your warrior. Then side angle and pause. Now, your arm can stay up high or low. You can even touch the mat, but right arm up over your right ear. And then reach it behind you. And you can move your whole body. See how my hips are swinging back? Inhale, draw up. And swinging it back. One more time. Inhale, draw up. And pause. Now here, maybe try to pull the belly back in. And I don't mean from sucking your belly in. I mean so you're not arching your back. Then draw yourself up just for a moment of getting off of that hip. And then you can exhale your hands down, lower down the right shin, pull back and lengthen your right leg. Apparently at some point today I banged my foot because I have blood on me. Now from here, your choice. Either staying in more of the lizard shape, which I've been digging myself, or you can come down towards half pigeon. Now your lizard could be low if you'd like to. I'm noticing for me personally, and I bet for a lot of you, I really need more of the opening in my psoas, quadricep, hip flexor. So I'm gonna stay high, but then drop the hips, lifting the chest. And that's just helping stretch here. We'll still do another piece to get the outer hip, so don't worry about missing out on that. But if you do wanna go to a lower lizard, go ahead. And maybe in the lower lizard, you reach back for your right foot. You decide. Then from here, again, you might just take a pause to pull back, just to lengthen. Oh, I'm running out of sunshine. And then sink in, and then your choice. Heel toe the foot over to the right for half pigeon, but maybe keep your chest lifted. And again, if you're really craving laying forward, go ahead. But what I'm craving right now is to open up the front of my right quad, opening the chest. So I'm pressing down into my left leg to keep the heart up. This is where you might even be using a block. But now I'm gonna add a twist to this. Now, if you want a little more space, if you pick up your back leg and kind of swing the foot behind you, you can kind of see it back there, it gives you a little more room. Then either forearm to the ground, to the leg, or if you want, try to reach for your foot. And then just twisting open. And sometimes I'll go much higher. This is what I was calling an open twist. So I'm twisting away from my legs. And it gives you a lot more room to open up chest, belly. You know, it just feels different, whatever you need. Give it another breath. Now here, unroll. Let yourself swing that right leg around. Bring the right leg up on top and coming into double pigeon, or some people call it fire log. I think Jess was calling it burning log yesterday, which seems appropriate too. But just letting yourself get a moment to open up through the hip. Give it another breath. Now, your choice. If you're feeling the chaturanga up dog, down dog energy and I'm not offering it, totally welcome to do it. Or just take a second, rock back, unwind your legs a little side to side action. And then again, just kind of swing your legs back and around. Now, if you're in the down dog, come and lower your shins. And then inhale up and then take a little lean. This helps stabilize the core, the quads, all the good stuff chaturanga does, without having to get into your shoulders. And that's just a personal choice right now. It's totally healthy and great to do chaturanga. It's just not working for me at the moment. And then when you're ready to inhale, take your left hand to the low back, swing the right arm up. And maybe you just simply reach up to the sky, or let the right arm circle around and then take the left arm up. And then you can either keep the left arm up to the sky or let both hands come to the low back. And then just lift the heart, maybe starting to gaze back gently. But then Jaladhara Bandha, so activating through the throat, tuck the chin, pull the belly back, and then you might sit child's pose or go on back to downward facing dog. Here, step, hop or float, feet towards the hands. Take an inhale, come on up. Side bending, doesn't matter which side first, and it doesn't matter if you want to hold the wrists, wrap the arms, do any funky version you like. And then let yourself come on up and over, opposite side. And then here, inhale, come on up through the center, and then just exhale your hands down and in towards the heart. Take an inhale, sweep the arms up high. On the exhale, forward fold. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Then here on the exhale, just step your left leg back to the lunge. So here, we're in that little bit of a higher lunge, so just draw your arms up. Now for the twist, I'm staying up high. You totally can wrap it up if you want. I want the length in my side waist and my back today, but any variation you want, they're all still gonna work. Give it a breath here. And your back knee could be high if you wanted to. Ooh, I spy a golf ball. I hope it's my husband's, because if not, someone shot it in our yard. And then when you're ready to come undone from here, just let yourself come back towards the center. Now, here's where you might just pull back, lengthen your leg for a moment. And then sink back in, and this is where you have the choice to kind of be closer to the ground in lizard, or I've personally been liking a higher Anjaneyasana. And I'm noticing my pants are getting wet and dirty, so sorry. Dirty knees. Lift the heart, sink the hips, soften your jaw. And again, I was trying to close my eyes doing this, but it's making me a little dizzy, so feel free, you can do your thing. And then you might decide to stay here, or you're gonna let yourself bring the hands down, heel toe your foot over towards the left, coming in to half pigeon. Now, it's funny because generally speaking, my other hip has been the one that's tighter, but in this particular pose, it's a little bit crankier. So just give myself some space. Try to keep the heart high unless you feel the urge to bow forward. And then adding the twist, you don't have to adjust the back foot. It just makes it so your hips move a little and it helps my knees not feel stuck. Sorry, I keep talking about my knees, but they've been troubling. So the foot swinging behind me, and then either reaching for your foot, forearm to the ground. You can even bring your hand to the head. What I really like to do here is to lengthen the ribs. So rather than thinking about getting super bound to this foot, lengthening out your rib cage instead. Give another breath where you are. Mom's watching Family Feud. I'm usually watching it with her, but I came out here to teach to you. And I'm picking my toe. Stop picking your toe, Debbie. Okay. So now here. Sorry, it's my life these days. Come on up. Wrap that left leg around. Double pigeon, so happy. This is the side I desperately need it on. And I know this might look like, oh, a squirrel's coming. Let's see if he doesn't notice me. Hi. Oh, I'll be so happy if he runs across my mat. I have a bunch of bird feeders on the other side of the fence, that's why. If you look to my left, you might see him in a minute. There he goes. See him? There he is. I've had a few of them not realize I was here and like walk right up to me and then scare the crap out of themselves. Makes me happy. So now here, sorry, I digress. From your double pigeon shape. When you feel ready, you can start to unwind. Take a pause. Little wiggle, wiggle. If you want that chaturanga shape, because we're heading towards that warrior two, don't forget about that. So you can either go all the way back to come forward, or letting yourself just ease up, left leg forward, right leg back. And then come on in, warrior two. Inhale, you thought I forgot, didn't you? Nope. Get yourself open, inhale, sink in. Oh, I think this is the wrong leg. It feels like the wrong leg. Yep. And then pull in. Not distracted by the squirrel. What do you want? And then sinking in out here, reversing. And then coming up and over, side angle. reversing. I might have screwed up that whole side. You know what? It's the full moon. If you do the same leg twice, switch legs. This is free. What do you want from me? I don't know. And then arm back. Swing it. I know this is definitely the different leg for me, so I don't know what I did there. I do know what I did, but you don't need to know. And then one more time. Draw yourself open. And then here, inhale. Come on up. Now here, oh, I know where the problem came in. We had our froggy moment, and I missed the frog. So other than that, we were okay. So, just kind of did a little backwards thing. See, if I had an internal filter, I wouldn't have said any of these things out loud, and you probably wouldn't have known I screwed up. But for those of you who practice with me, you know I tell you all this stuff all the time. So it probably feels more normal that I confess. It makes me feel better to confess. So just staying in frog for a moment. Oh, Family Feud. Steve Harvey. You're funny. So now from here, and again, I'm physically not arching my back. It's my booty. So if I was arching, it would be really exaggerated. Pull it up, okay? Now from here, curl the toes under. This is that little transition if you liked it. Hop the knees up. And you can just step, or if you like the little hop, you can hop. This is where we went into Warrior 2 last time. So don't worry, I didn't miss it. I just did it in a different order. And then let yourself come around, lowering down the shins. Now, from here, hands can come to your low back. Now, you don't have to do the swingy arm thing if you prefer not to. I just like it. So right hand to low back, left arm comes up. Swing it around. Now, you might be starting to reach towards the ankle. Sometimes I'll do that by curling the toes under to make it a little bit more comfortable. It just depends on you. Then you can stay here and take the right arm up. Or maybe the right arm comes around too. And then your call. Hands to low back, hands to ankle, letting yourself just open up. Coming into camel, Ustrasana. Just opening up the heart, but keeping it pretty casual. Then use your belly, inhale, draw yourself back up. You could stay or you could sit back if you felt like you wanted to. We're gonna do it one more time, and then I'm gonna come into it a different way. You choose. We're gonna do hands free. Now, I like toes curled under for hands free because it makes it a little more supportive to come back up, but realistically, nothing's gonna happen. If you fall, you'll just sit down. Your body will protect you, okay? So just letting your hands come to the heart. Think about, instead of pushing your hips forward, climb up like you were putting your shoulder blades up onto a shelf. I'm keeping my chin a little tucked. Some people like to drop the head back, but just be careful you don't feel too much pressure. And then maybe lean back. Now this fires up your quadriceps a lot, which helps if you progress to wheel or drop backs later, which I'm not doing today, but you can. Coming back. Coming up. No, there's a bunny over there. I'll try to turn the camera so you can see it later. Hi, baby bunny. This is where I screwed up last time because I started looking at the animals. So here, gonna go for it. I'm not gonna try to drop my head back hands free because I just know that's not a good choice for me right now. But hands to the heels, maybe lift the heart, open the throat. Just give it a breath. And then lift from your belly. And just come on back. And then here, just take a moment. I'm gonna sit all the way back onto my bum, but you could sit on your shins if you're comfortable there. It's the cutest little baby bunny. And then give a twist. And coming around, little twist. And then come through the center. Now here, taking the legs out into a wide straddle. Now, if this is super uncomfortable for you, like this happens to be a pose I love. It feels good in my body even when I'm not super flexible, like meaning that I haven't been practicing as much, but I like it. And it's just part of it is because of the way my hip sockets kind of attach and where I rotate from. Those of you who despise this, buddy just saw me, and you know who you are, you might prefer to stay up tall. And that's a lot of work, and even more work would be to bring your arms up and just try to even shift forward a little bit and use your belly to engage. And this is actually a good way to strengthen for those of you who are a little more flexible here. Now, if you'd like, you can also bring your arms down, lean forward. Sorry, I'm distracted by the bunny. He's eating grass, and I don't even care. Hi, bunny. I'd like to think I'm Dr. Dolittle and he'll come over and sit with us, but it's definitely looking at me, but I don't think it's coming any closer. Bunny, bunny. Oh. It's so cute. Okay, anyway, grow up. Sorry, I digress. Then come on in. Now here, you might be feeling a little bit more open to revisit your forward fold. And again, you might not. So if you still prefer to stay tall, you're welcome to. Now we're going to add to this, I just forgot the name of the, well, it doesn't matter. I can't think of the Sanskrit name, but I'll think of it. But it's Eastern side plank. So it's like basically reverse tabletop. So you can bring your hands behind you. Now this would be the more modified version. I'm not even going to lift my butt. All I'm going to do is squeeze my elbows and try to lift my chest. And you can keep your chin tucked. Now, a little bit more energetic, but still pretty supported, would be to bend your knees, place your feet on the ground, and then lift your hips. And then you start to get a deeper stretch here in the chest, hips, shoulders. And then take a pause. Forward fold is a good counter pose for that. Baby bunny's still there. Now here, if you want to lift up into more of the full variation, and again, not quantifying it, it's just the different expressions of it. Your legs stay long and you're trying to push the balls of your feet down towards the ground. So you can press down and then rise up. Badakanasana, that's what it's called. But you can do that. And then sinking in, and then once again, the forward fold might feel good. Then from here, coming down towards your backs. Now, I'm going to prep you for wheel. I'm not sure if I'm doing it yet or not. I'll let you know. But a really nice way to open your shoulders from it, and this is for it, is actually something I learned from Christine Raffa like 10,000 years ago. Thank you, Christine. Is to let your triceps press into the mat, kind of pop your chest and squeeze your shoulder blades. And believe it or not, right now, you're doing wheel. Like you've got, I almost said you have the elements of the pose that are important, which is the opening of the chest, the tucking of the shoulders. I'm grounding into my feet. I can start to lift my bum even just a little bit. So it's just really an engaged type of bridge. And this is where you could put a block under your sacrum, between your thighs, whatever you want for a little more support. Now, why this can help lead you to wheel is that if you just pick up your arms, bring them back. See how you're already in the shape? And then it's a matter of bringing your hands around because you want to wrap the elbows in. I'm going to rest before I try to lift up because I have not tried to do wheel since last February. Could be a really bad idea. I'll know, and if it is, I'll come down. So pressing into your feet, again, pressing into the triceps, lift the chest, tuck the shoulders, pressing into the hips, maybe bring your hands by the ears. I usually lift to the top of my head just to kind of get my balance, and then lift up, and oh my God, oh, I'm tight, oh, I'm tight, okay, give another breath, and then lower down. It's usually a nice counter pose to either go into Badakanasana or Happy Baby, and yes, you're welcome, I turned on purpose so I wouldn't be Happy Babying to the camera right now. And then from here, just let your right foot come down, cross your left ankle over. Oh, I think baby bunny left. And then let yourself drop over to the right. Mom's still okay, just checking. Baby monitor, best invention ever. And I'm sure for any of you who are parents, you already know that, but I never thought in my life I'd own a baby monitor, but I do. Inhale through your center, come on up and over, crank to the left. This is my hip who has not been happy with me. And then unwind. I'm just going to do a little side to side for a second just because I had a little catch. So, and it honestly shouldn't have anything to do with that particular pose, so don't let that make you nervous. That's just my hip right now. And then come through the center, cross the right ankle over. This is actually going to help. I'm going to pull the knees in for a second just because my back needs that. And then you can rock it over towards the left if you'd like. And then coming through the center, up and over towards the right. And this is going to help slide that back in.
hope. And then you can come to the center, unwind your legs. Badakanasana can be kind of nice here, just to take your knees wide, your feet together, and just take a pause. The baby bunny came closer.
And then just let yourself slide into any shape of Shavasana that works for you. And it might be that you prefer to be seated. Lately, I've been enjoying taking a seated meditation instead, but laying down is perfect.
Hi, bunny.
And then just give yourself a moment to come back. And I don't mean come back into awareness yet, just back into your body in case you checked out. And again, my intention, and you're welcome to share it with me if it's something that feels pertinent and, authentic to you. It's trying not to worry about those things that I can't control, trying to embrace the things that I can. And I know the AA thing would say to know the difference, but what I've been trying to say is to eloquently be able to accept those things and to be able to just breathe and know that I can't plan everything. And it's been really hard when I try to explain that to Mom, because I know she wants a plan, but I don't know what the plan is either. And I'm sure many of you are in a similar boat. Sometimes the plan is no plan. If you're enjoying Shavasana, feel free to stay there. Maybe you could get a cuddly place that you could stay long enough for the moon to come out. I need to get back inside and check on Mom. So I'm going to turn the camera at the very end to see if maybe I can catch the baby bunny, but it might run as soon as I move. But thank you for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful harvest moon. I hope the fall season gives you the opportunity to shed those things that are no longer serving you. And I'll see you again soon. Namaste. Okay, move really quiet. Oh! He already took off. Oh well. Sorry. I was going to try to show him to you. Oh wait. Hang on. Now that he's gone, I didn't want to scare him. Might still be too light out. Oh, it's still too light out. This is my really cool LED whip that, when it's dark, looks really cool. But it's still too light. Oh well. Namaste, y'all.